My name is Esther Szigeti. I am the art director and UX UI designer at Nodata. UX design stands for user experience design. It's a process of achieving user satisfaction by improving the usability, the accessibility and the pleasure in between the users and the product. UX describes lots of activities. It's a collection of activities that we do in order to create great experiences for the users. What is included in all activities? We are doing user research, we can do benchmarking, as well we design the interface and also we develop the product. The most important is really the user. We need to understand their behavior and we need to know what their needs to create a great product. Despite of common beliefs, we can apply UX for everyday life, not only for creating interfaces or applications, it's for every field. The methodology that we are using, we are applying for creating the UX design. It's a design thinking methodology with the 5 steps. It's an iterative process. That means that you can go back and forth between the different steps. The first step is really important. We need to empathize with the users. So we need to identify the target. And the way how we do it's doing surveys and doing face-to-face interviews. And that's the way how we can create after the user personas that represents different type of users. After creating the different user personas, we are doing user journeys that are actually maps of processes that highlights pain points, user pain points, and that's the way how we're gonna really define what is the real problem of the user. After the second step, we can pass for the ideate phase. So we are doing different brainstorming that we can use different tools like crazy eights or round robins. And these are the tools that can help us to find what is the best solution that can suit for the user. The fourth phase of the process is the prototyping, which is one of the most important phase because that allows us to already get some feedback from the users and allows us to improve the product. There are different levels of prototyping. The first level is to do the low fidelity prototype, which is a paper prototype that allows us to have the first feedback from users and that we can implement the feedback and go further with the mid fidelity prototype, that is a wireframe, is the first digital version of the final product without any colors, without the final font, for example, and all the visual thing. It's only serves us to verify the structure of the website. And then we pass to the last step, which is the high fidelity prototype. It's the closest solution of the final product. So we're gonna see exactly how our final product will look like. The last phase of design thinking is to do the testing. We can do 2 different tests. One is the usability test, that we are testing with the user if the product is functional, if it's working well, if it's easy to use for them. So the second type of test that we are doing is the desirability test, to test the look and feel, how much the user they are willing to use our products. During all this process, we are applying the double diamond approach, which is about divergent and convergent thinking. The divergent thinking means, like for example, when we doing lots of interviews and we have lots of answers, but we still don't know how to focus on the problem. And then there are some tools that help us to define what is the real problem, and that's the convergent thinking. One of the benefits of doing UX design that the product becomes more understandable, more user-friendly, so no need for training. As well, the user base grows because we are answering to all user needs. From business point of view, UX became a time and money-saving solution as it prevents managers and bosses from making wrong decisions and costly mistakes, and it can take time to fix afterwards.
Nicolas Brigitte-Alphonsine, CEO at Nodata. Now you perfectly understand what user experience is, and Esther perfectly described what the process and what is the approach to bring experience and user experience to your customer. It's fairly simple. You need to apply the same methodology and experiment and do some prototyping, understand your user, see how they are using and collecting and analyze data, and give them the easiest way to replicate this process within your data report or dashboard or anything else you're giving to them. And it will be way more easy for them. They won't need any training, they won't need any documentation, and they will gain access to very powerful and very efficient insight very quickly, and you bring very much value to your users. Nodata will help you with the tools and the software to really implement user experience with data visualization and data analytics in general. For more information, please visit our website.